that's what you wanted.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're summoning our runic magic to bring you the 10 best new abilities in God of War Ragnarok. It's going to take everything we can get our hands on to survive Odin's forces and just the Norse realm in general, so any equipment or special attacks that can get us through the next battle are more than welcome. What was your favorite new go-to ability in God of War Ragnarok? Let us know down in the comments. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Glaive of Dodr. The first in a handful of helpful relics Kratos acquires simply by progressing through the story, the Glaive of Dodr is found after defeating the mini-boss Fisk in Vanaheim. Don't think he's going to give up this powerful relic easily, however. Once equipped, the Glaive of Dodr works great for those investing in long-range combat, as with every use the glaive sends out powerful Bifrost chakrams, basically a spinning blade of death, and works on every foe regardless of how strong their defenses are. Upgrading the glaive increases the number of chakrams Kratos can throw at once, hence its description, the glaive is synonymous with death. Hilt of Graham.
Glad we explored.
While not the most useful of relics, except in certain situations, using the Hilt of Graham can still mean the difference between life and death in difficult encounters. Another hilt that can be easily acquired by searching off the beaten path and solving a tricky puzzle in Alfheim, the Hilt of Graham grants the user a burst of rage and can also stun nearby opponents during its activation. This hilt is particularly useful not only for giving yourself a bit of breathing room when overwhelmed, but can also give you that extra boost to Kratos' rage meter should you be just a sliver away from unleashing his Spartan rage on anyone in the vicinity. Hilt of Radil.
Up there, another Coal Raider camp. We should clear that one out too. It'll make our wolves feel safer.
More than a few of these relics you get to experience firsthand before finally acquiring them for yourself. Such is the case with the Hilt of Radil, in which you must defeat the boss at the end of the Animal Instinct's favor while exploring the frozen Lake of Nine. The boss in question, Olaf Knotson, stands between you and your prize, but once defeated, will drop the crackle of Bilskirner that the Huldra brothers can then craft into the Hilt of Radil, which lets Kratos pound the ground, sending out shockwaves of electricity that can incapacitate enemies for a short time. While not truly devastating, it can offer Kratos enough of a window to gain the upper hand in a challenging encounter. Hilt of Dainsleif.
Dane's legacy, the rage of Sather, forged into a single blade.
The Hilt of Dainsleif requires a bit more footwork and questing than many of the other relics on our list, but it's definitely worth it for those wanting to dish out a bit of payback to all those enemies who'd love to cover the battlefield in pools of poison. Kratos must first track down 4 lost pages, and you're going to want to collect these already to craft many of the other more powerful relics in the game. After collecting all the pages, you'll need to face down a particularly nasty Grim, who holds the Sventhorn necessary for one of the dwarves to craft the hilt itself. Once equipped, Kratos can leave his own pool of acid that doesn't apply the poison status, but still does significant damage over time as the battle continues. Motsigner's Call.
Shoot it.
Even in his grief and rage, Sindri's ingenuity is unparalleled. Not only did he create a relic capable of destroying the walls surrounding Asgard, but it was also strong enough to survive Ragnarok itself. This is the only relic that can only be found in the post-game, but if you left some of the more challenging side quests until the end, you'll be happy to have Motsinger on call. Found in the Aesir prison wreckage in Niflheim, when used, the tuning fork creates a small shockwave that can deal high stun damage to all nearby foes. This is especially useful against large groups of enemies or ones with low health, as it will immediately put them into a finisher state for a quick end to a tough fight. The relic also works extremely well on challenging bosses, giving Kratos the upper hand when the odds are stacked against him. Hilt of Forsprender.
That's an eclectic bunch of treasure you got. You really covered some ground, huh?
The Hilt of Forsprender is arguably one of the few relics that could take you the entirety of your playthrough of God of War Ragnarok to acquire, but it's more than worth the effort. Just like in the 2018 game, Kratos can hunt down and kill numerous glowing ravens that follow him along his journey through Midgard, reporting back to Odin. The difference in Ragnarok is this time the ravens reward Kratos for freeing them of Odin's control with numerous legendary chests, all containing various rewards including a full set of armor. Once all ravens have been freed, Kratos will encounter the Raven Keeper, and after a challenging boss fight, will be rewarded with the Hilt of Forsprender, which not only creates a shockwave to give Kratos some much needed space, but also grants him a protection aura, which is great for those players focusing on a defensive build. Talisman of Maine.
This dwarf didn't make it out. Is that a relic? Huh.
One of the earliest relics Kratos acquires during the game, and also one rewarded just for completing the story mission, the Talisman of Maine is also one of the most useful early on in the game. Equipping the talisman gives Kratos bonus unarmed melee damage, and upgrading the relic will not only make it more powerful, but also greatly reduce its cooldown. Meaning with careful planning, the talisman is easily one of the most exploitable relics in the game and can be constantly spammed throughout the many encounters and challenges Kratos faces on his way to Ragnarok. Huldra Project 9.
We'll just need the Bifrost in the head. Brock, do the touching.
Oh, this would be the part requiring my assistance then.
You said it. This device here has been crafted to your measurements. It'll help you get a better look at the problem with those Bifrost eyes of yours.
It would seem that the Huldra brothers had more than one use planned for the smartest man alive. After taking some uncomfortable measurements at the end of God of War 2018, the brothers put these designs to good use and created a new gateway using Mimir's Bifrost eyes. But we should have known their plans wouldn't stop there. Using the Huldra Project 9, Kratos can now aim Mimir like a laser cannon and use Mimir's Bifrost eyes to roast anything in his gaze with his Bifrost blast. Not only is this hilarious to watch every time, but it's also quite powerful and one of the easiest relics to acquire, as Kratos needs to simply craft the relic from the special items section of the brothers' shop. It's apparently still unpleasant for Mimir, however.
Kratos, throw me at him. Horns first. Case you takes a joke, you old goat.
Hilt of Hofud.
Completely giving away your position. What idiots.
A favorite here at MojoPlays, the Hilt of Hofud is an upgraded version of the Talisman of the Realms from God of War 2018 and allows Kratos to create a time bubble that slows everything in Kratos' immediate area. It's undeniably one of the best and most useful relics in the game, and since it's tied directly to a story quest as a reward, there's no chance of missing it. Upgrading the relic increases its duration and area of effect, making it invaluable for encounters where Kratos quickly becomes overwhelmed and needs to create a window of opportunity for himself. It does have a longer cooldown than many other relics, even when fully upgraded, but if used properly, there won't be anyone left to notice.
Kratos, that was just... I don't know if we are breaking fate, or fate's breaking us.
Hilt of Skofnun. The strongest relic in the entire game is also the most difficult to obtain. Not only does Kratos need to defeat the Berserker King's 12 bodyguards, Ragnarok's iteration of the Valkyrie fights from the 2018 game, he also needs to defeat the king himself before he can acquire the Hilt of Skofnun. The most powerful relic in the game, once activated, the Hilt of Skofnun will summon ethereal swords that will automatically attack nearby enemies. And upgrading the relic will not only decrease the Hilt's cooldown time, but also summon even more swords to fight alongside you. Not to mention, it's just awe-inspiring to watch the swords decimate Kratos' many enemies.
I will use it for good.
That won't erase its history.
No. But the story of this sword is still being written.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.